Hey guys, Stephanie here. Hit that like, subscribe, and share. Alright, for all of you hating ass people, listen, when I come on here, I tell you straight up, I cuss, I am RH negative, I have a different perspective. I don't see things on a superficial, shallow fucking way. I see it as we're the ultimate consequences because we are all spiritual beings having a human experience. We do get reincarnated. So when I see these moms like, oh, what is this new poor black victim kid? And I'm sorry, don't hate me for saying that. And I'm not being an asshole. I'm just kind of, being honest about the whole situation. I mean, has anybody looked at the actual true video? And how the mom instantaneously is all over Facebook posting about it. When I lost my mom, my mother, okay, this is a child. When I lost my mom, the minute I got that phone call, I literally think I left my body for at least 6 months. I went into my bedroom closet and I just sat there for over 30 minutes because I couldn't even think. Like, my head was that, like, shook. You know what I mean? Like, so imagine how a mother feels. Like, I've lost a child too. And let me tell you, I had a tummy tuck and I had some leftover pain pills. And I ended up mourning the child I lost through opiates. I overcame that addiction 10 years ago. It's like, there's no way I could have gotten. It's taken me this long to admit things because we're raised, don't cry, toughen up, just life. But in the reality, in the retrospect, we're seeing the demise in humanity over not being able to cope with everyday feelings. Like this kid, and you're looking at, also George Floyd, right? Think about it. Even the shooting at the Asian massage parlors, these are all criminal activities. So you're a criminal, you're putting yourself at a high risk situation. But if something happens to you, you're a martyr and you're a victim? No, that's just not how it works. So what does that say to all the people who live life right? And why would his mom... Air freshener, okay, I understand. Yes, that is a law. That is actual law. You're not supposed to even have anything hanging from your, what is it called? Rear view mirror, because it's considered a distraction while you're driving. This is a real thing, okay? But you also have to remember this kid had a warrant out for having, he also, what did he have, like a 45 or something like that? Like, he had a gun. All over social media, you see this kid pointing guns, flashing money, and then you see his mom cry. You know what I'm thinking? Bitch, you don't get to cry. You don't get to feel sorry and bank off of what you created. Where was the father? Where was the discipline? Why did this kid even feel like that lifestyle was right? No. It all starts at home with the parents. And it doesn't matter what motherfucking race you are. It's every goddamn race. Every race has them. There's a hell of a lot more white trash than anything. I know. So I judge them. But at the same time, I'm looking on the news and they're posting this kid with a picture with a baby and the baby's mom is like, blah, 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 blah. But you go all over his social media, He's pointing guns. He's flashing money. Like, what's up, bro? Runs from the cops, does all this. And his mom, totally fine. That's called some hood rat shit. She's not mourning that child. She's profiting. I'm sorry, I'm calling it like it is because I'm so goddamn sick of this shit. And why would the cops have to retire? I'm sorry. There are laws. And all you lobbyists, you activists, you Captain Save-A-Hos, Captain Save this from the men you castrate and turn into women. I'm just done with it all. Like, these people are sick, dude. This kid was obviously a criminal. The cop honestly made a mistake. Who are we to judge? Do you ever put yourself in that situation? I think it's really fucking funny how blacks are like, oh, the white people are after us, blah, blah, blah. But do you remember during Martin Luther King, it was the whites were after the blacks, and it was a whole, he said we shouldn't even define ourselves by a race. Do you understand how they exploit and manipulate certain races at certain times during certain political reasons? I mean, just look at all the people that Obama and Biden locked up. Now they're fighting for them to have voting rights. It's like you literally set up all the corrupt laws that were like this 3-strike rule, you're out. Like, you steal 3 times, you're doing 20 years in Texas prison, bitch. It's like they came up with these laws, and now they're coming out and saying they're gonna change it. Yeah, right, dude. There are TED Talks where Obama is talking about how us simple Americans, us peasants, him being a follower of the Prophet Muhammad and a Muslim, dedicated to his faith, how us mere peasant people in this planet aren't smart enough to take care of ourselves. See, they got a point if you think about it. You just had Bill Gates buy up all the farmland. All of it. Alright, you have huge bankers like the Rothschilds, Saudi Prince, all these people, Vatican, like all these people, there's only a select handful of people who decide all this stuff. And then they pick another class of people, and another, and another, and another, which ultimately leads to you lose your free will. You have no free will. We are born into slavery. Why doesn't anybody get this? But people aren't looking at it in that way. They're not seeing how the entire system is fucked. They're just letting certain political people tell them how, because of their race, only when it benefits them, only when it benefits them. Because remember how BLM was demanding Kamala Harris and Biden when they first got into office for all these things? They were like, no. They told the illegals, no, don't come now, don't come now. Then they came. Now there's like over 100,000 minor children. Mind you, during Trump, I'm in Texas. I'm in Sugar Land, Texas, right outside of Houston, Texas. Our mayor, Sylvester Turner, is advocating for all these illegal children to come here. Alex Jones was right. Where's that jar to put a drop, a penny in or something? He actually was exposing these people. There are people like opening the back of like SUVs and like vans and stuff, loading up these kids. No seat belts, no car seats, no nothing. And then Alex Jones was calling the cops over there. So it's like, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, we live in a society where since George Floyd, they covered up so much of it, the media automatically jumps in, spins it, Then we start learning truths. He was high, this and that. You know, just like with the cop, with this other kid where you can go to his Facebook and Instagram where he's flashing money and guns, like, what up, my nigga? Like, whatever, I said it, I don't give a damn. Because if everybody else can say it, I can too. Because, like, majority of my friends growing up are black. Like, I grew up, like, dude, you would never think that I like gangster rap. I grew up to, like, street military, you know, uh, UGK and like DJ Screw. Like I grew up on like actually it was great music. Now I listen to music and I'm like Devin the Dude. Here, we'll do a little Devin the Dude right now because it's like I actually had tickets to go see him, but I was so tired, but I just couldn't do it. But not only that, because it's become so politicized. Like everybody's got to give their like fucking political bullshit, blah. Like MLB, you shot yourself in the face. Just like, why are y'all looting and rioting and saying you're gonna do it if somebody's not found guilty? That's a terroristic threat. You don't get to do that. You just don't. That's rude. That's somebody else's property. It's not all the government. I mean, my God, you are not only affecting everyone, you're affecting your own people. And that goes for every race. Like, seriously. I'm just like, I don't understand it. I really don't. Ugh, now I gotta find this song. It's gonna drive me crazy if I don't find it. Okay, this is the one I'm talking about. What an asshole. They won't play it on that one? Dickheads. And that's another thing. Like, celebrities are even worse. They come in here and they're like, they make things popular, they make them unpopular. They tell us what we're supposed to do, right? And today, I was watching the whole thing on like, all right, this is Devin the Dude, okay? Fuck a Google. I hate Google. Google sucks. They do, they stalk me. They even know the dog food I buy. See, honestly, I could listen to any type of music, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. Like, what type of music I listen to me, I feel like the energy, the vibration of it all. And I just think today's society literally is on such a negative tilt that when they see this, like, you know, kid get shot or whatever, and it's, you know, certain lives matter, blah, 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 nobody's really thinking of the consequences of being woke. Because it is being woke. Like, I've tried to think about it in so many different ways. Like, how could people honestly think they're doing something good out of this? And it's not. It's the consequences of wokeism. Because most of the people being woke pushing this are corporations, celebrities, people with money and power. It's not just like everyday people. We're not pushing this. But we're getting like shamed into following, you know, foot. Like, we just got to do what everybody else is doing or else. Because you'll get canceled, or you'll have like the health department come and take your business from you. Or, you know, what I find fucking completely hilarious is you see Lady Gaga everywhere promoting schizophrenia. She's saying she's schizophrenic, right? That she takes medicine for schizophrenia. She's trying to create awareness. But she goes on mainstream media promoting who people should vote for But Britney Spears has to have, you know, ownership. You see what I'm saying? It's all a double standard. Like DMX, he wasn't he was not on drugs, he did not relapse, he was gravy. He was actually on TikTok and all of his other feeds preaching about God and having the power of faith and all that and the spirituality which gets you to that state of enlightenment where you realize everything you see around you is all bullshit. Regardless of your car, your house, what do you have inside of you internally? We all worship these people because of certain things, but if you look at them, they mainly die of drug addiction or some stuff like that. But we worship them. Why? Because they get famous off of avoiding their struggles. And another thing I can't stand is like now they're like Johnson and Johnson vaccine. No, we're gonna pull it back. It's only bad. It doesn't have anything to do with this or that. And the same with like what was his name? Like Aaron Turner or wait, older guy. Then you have DMX. You have like Prince Philip, and they make memes about like how DMX is like, you just stole my spotlight, bitch. And I'm thinking like, is anybody gonna be obvious, like, and honest? Like, these vaccines are experimental into, I believe it's May or March of 2023. All right, the reason they have celebrities and TV and everybody telling you to get it, we're gonna give you a sticker. Krispy Kreme is gonna give you free donuts. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, get that free donut. And then don't forget to go online and do that selfie that, I'm the PC culture. Look at me, I got my job. Not thinking about, like, okay, when you do stupid things, you win stupid prizes. So a lot of people act on impulse. And I think it's become more and more transparent, not because of like climate change or anything like that, but our magnetic poles have been shifting. Like there's a lot of national, like geographical things that are happening. Not only that, but within our magnetic poles shifting and the climate changing, they're uncovering like all these civilizations that people weren't really aware of. So now people are like, well, kind of like, okay, whatever. Then you got Elon Musk being like, yeah, aliens built the pyramid. They did. There's like ancient civilizations with technology and people like Tesla, like the pyramids, the pyramids, you can actually find ancient pyramids that are still buried under earth. And they all align within this, like the planetary is like, it's not perfect triangles. It's like, I can't even remember the dimension of it or whatever. Polygraph? I don't know. Stephanie language, it makes sense. Because like when I study the stars and everything, like, all that, even in like, if you look at how Washington D.C., like if you look at it from above, you can see how it's all mathematically inclined. And there's also, they have, what are those things called? Oh, sorry. They have, what are they freaking called? I don't remember what they're called. Megaliths. Yes, there's one in New York Central Park. It's a megalith. Actually, it's Egyptian. And it was actually brought here, I believe, by the Rothschilds or another family that started with an R. I believe he was like some kind of very wealthy man, but he was also part of the military. And they uncovered something, and this was a long time ago, but there's a megalith in, what is it, New York City. What is that park? Whatever, it's there. They're actually right now doing like touch ups to it. But if you think about it, there's megaliths everywhere. There's one in Washington, D.C., and if you look at the mathematical dimensions of the Pentagon to the White House to the monolith to, I mean, everything, it all lines up in a certain way mathematically. So it's like when you really, I mean, if you think about it, everything in our life is it's mathematics, right? So like Tesla said, 3, 6, and 9, right? They actually have technology to where, I mean, honestly, you go into space and you age slower than you were here on Earth. So people have to ask themselves, like, okay, what kind of universe, what kind of world are we actually living in? Because mathematically, you can tap into this stuff. There are things called right frequencies through meditation, through crystals, through Om chants, and that's not like being evil or demonic, honestly. It's throughout even ancient Egypt. They called it occult. I mean, if you think about it, anything can be occult or occult. But at the end of the day, people have to ask themselves, okay, we live in a civilization now that half the people are seeing hidden technologies, ancient civilizations, knowing that they weren't crazy. UFOs exist, they're here. Antarctica, actually, underneath of it, they're all like, the ice caps are melting. Dude, okay, Antarctica used to be covered in grass and stuff. What makes people think, as this human civilization, you're so special? You're gonna tax yourself half of your income to save the world. No. Ask the dinosaurs if they would have done that. They would have been like, bitch, no, I'm gonna eat my trees. Thank you. Fuck off. Because we're here to have a human experience for a reason. Okay? And
here are the top search results.
I hate Google. I hate Google. They say nothing. Nothing, 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 nothing. Ever. Like, seriously, you guys, like, we reincarnate. I mean, if you honestly think about it, like, think about everything they're pushing right now. Okay? You have to think about it. We are. Oh, God, this stuff sounds so crazy. Okay. Majority of the mass and, like, space and all that kind of stuff is made of, like, carbon, oxygen, like, fundamental, chemicals and atoms and structures that we all, whatever, come from. But we actually have proof that in the beginning, there were a group of angels who took upon earthly women and they made bad choices. Those are the fallen angels, right? The Nephilim. It's all in the book of Enoch. It's been kept from us, right? And all these, like, relics, all these things, like, right now, the Saudi prince has a Da Vinci painting, and he just paid, like, almost $600 million for it. I don't think there's anything connected. When in all these paintings, they're pointing up to the sky, and there's aliens in the background. Does anybody ever think to believe maybe there's something to it? And the only reason why I think about this type of stuff is because in 2017, like, out of nowhere, I just got, like, super sick. Like, my body temperature went up to, like, 104. I thought I was gonna die. Actually, I was in my front yard, like, and you know how when your body goes into, like, shock? I was, like, almost 105 degrees, like, having convulsions, like, everything. And, like, I died in my front yard, had kidney failure, all this crazy shit. And not even 24 hours later in the hospital. I have a nurse who's like saying something in Spanish, and then she looked at me and she's like, "You're RHAV negative," and they started like looking at me like I was Damien from that movie The Omen. And so they kept me in the hospital for like another 2 days because they wanted to do like, I guess, their assessments and all that. And after they do like another MRI, usually you see like damage reports or what happened, because if an organ dies and it's dead and it's brought back to life, like a person is dying, there's there's something left behind. There's like some kind of scar tissue. It's not unremarkable in like a scan. But everything in my body that I've ever experienced, I've never had the flu, never had the flu shot, except when I was in prison, which everybody knows. When I was 23, my mom died, and I lost a baby, and my grandfather died, like my grandmother died, like two of my best friends died. It was just really bad. And I had to have some surgery, and I started taking Percocets. And back then, they said they weren't addictive. So they just kept giving them to me like Tic Tacs. Before I knew, I got pulled over, and I had a Lorcet addiction, opiate addiction. I overcame it. But honestly, that judge saved my life. And I see all the judges now that just throw everybody out, you know, with this whole America's drunk, this whole wine culture, wine moms. Bitch, don't shame me. You're legalizing LSD, mushrooms. Everybody's high on TV. It's like y'all created a whole industry around wine culture and wine moms. I got all the wine glasses. I get the 10, 20% off. I'm part of this fucking culture. I didn't even sign up for it. I didn't even know what I was part of it until it was on Tamara Hall today. And I was like, see, I knew these motherfuckers were getting in my head. Because like I told my cousin when I was up in Philly, when she had surgery, like a lot of this stuff, sorry you guys, it's like super hot in this room. But I'm just joking. But anyways, if you watched it to this long, you know who I am. You love me anyway. You don't care. So anywho, I was telling my cousin like, it's like 10 in the morning, and they're like showing you how to make these cocktails and this and that, and they make it look so freaking good, And they seem to always have like a new thing to celebrate on certain days when you should drink like, oh, margaritas this day and this on that and rose. Like, who pushed rose? Like, honestly, I don't like it. It's a chick drink. That's like Moscato and shit like that. I'm more like a red. But see, that's the thing. I love red wine. And the only way I'll drink a whole bottle is if I know it's an expensive bottle. So it's literally like throwing away money. But I also have a high tolerance. But my thing is, they don't. Well, now during the beginning of quarantine, no, for real. If anybody, like, and that's another thing. Any of you people who don't have kids, especially in junior high and high school during the beginning of this quarantine, getting them to do virtual schooling, shut the fuck up. You have no right, no right to judge. Because you know what? When, yeah, and these people are like, oh my God, I have a job and I'm a stay-at-home, and I work full time, my kids go to school. Well, that's really good. But like, we all have routines. So for me, it was like, I'm used to my daughters are just like me, okay? So imagine two extra of me on top of my son, who I literally coddle and baby like he's a 2 year old. Only because he's my last baby, tubes tied. Alright. Then it's like, quarantine's going good the first couple days. And then it's like, how do you get them up for bed? If you hit them, or if you do anything, or if you dump water on them, you'll have, child protective services calling you, like trying to take your kids. And you're like, no, these little badass kids, ha, okay, your turn. Go big guy. Tell me I'm doing it wrong. Because I believe so many people in this country and around the world have been struggling with things and they've made compromises and they've realized like you grow into a certain routine, habit, structure, and we don't really know each other, even our children, in that 24-hour personal habit type of way. But as humans, we all still need our space. So for this past year, you have a bunch of people forced to be together who are used to their own things and they're just like, you're all gonna die. But be happy. And they expect nothing. Like, okay. Jeez, guys. Like, and now it's like Johnson and Johnson shot causes this, Moderna. It's like, does anybody realize these are all experimental? Your own life insurance will null and void if you take this vaccine. Okay, you cannot even sue anybody if you get sick from it. So why the fuck would you go get a vaccine that's experimental, you don't have to get, and it's for a virus you don't even know if you have unless you get a government test? If you think of the logic behind it, it's all stupid. Like our children are going to be, because they've had a year of no fucking school. Like in the morning with my son, before I go drop him off, I have to go online and fill out this thing. It's like, is he coughing? Does he have a runny nose? Like, no. Then I get there, I got to show it to them. They're still taking their temperatures. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this looks like a fucking institution. It's like they're in prison. They have to wear their mask. They can't play dodgeball. And that's another thing. I'm sorry, people, but we need to bring back dodgeball. We need tetherball. We need people to get hurt. You know why? Because I'm sick of my kids are like, let me see your scar, mom. Or telling their friends, remember that? Remember, can I see the scar? I'm like, dude, get your own scars. Not trying to be a bitch. But how did we end up in a society where they think a government that stole an election does all these other crazy ass things, like allowing riots and statues being toppled and all that? Look, oh my God, yes. Take my Second Amendment away. Take it away. Even though if you haven't had a vaccine, you can't leave an island that has an active volcano if you haven't been vaccinated. But most people don't even get the choice whether they've been vaccinated first or not. Do y'all see where this is going? They're already doing the passports, the vaccine passports, all this kind of shit. And if anybody really thinks about it, who is pushing this? There's no commercials or anything. It's all political, like celebrities, like stupid corporations, all these other people. Because by law, if it's not FDA approved and it's been through clinical trials, they cannot run advertisements on it. That's why they're pushing this whole celebrity thing. We're watching all sorts of things happen. You got Bill Gates, let's dim the sky. Let me buy all the farmland. And all over the fucking Google feed, it's like, how E. coli is a threat from lettuce. Look, people, I don't know if anyone really thinks about this, but like today when I was listening to the Tamara Hall thing, and they're talking about like wine culture, wine moms, this and that, I'm like, wait a minute. Y'all just built like $1 billion corporation over years of making it okay. From the Real Housewives, all this crap. Y'all made a ton of money off it. Then you're coming in, oh, that was all so good, guys. It's like, what if you just like red wine? I mean, I do. I like it. I drink it. I don't care if you like it or not. Because you haven't had my fucking life, bitch. And that's another thing. I'm sick of all these sad sack Larrys going around. Ooh, I came from this. Okay, let me tell you something, okay? I grew up in straight up fucking poverty. My dad collected cans and recycled them so we could eat. He even stole food from the restaurant he worked at so we could eat. When I was 12, I started cutting grass, cleaning houses, babysitting. I bought everything for myself. I had to make some really fucked up choices, but it was also because I wasn't told. I was a victim of the circumstances I was born in because, like I said, we're all spiritual beings. We're just using these vessels. We reincarnate. And if you actually look through your family history, we're all reliving the past mistakes of our ancestors because we're not clicking. We're not getting it. We're not understanding it. Like in my family, I don't give a fuck. I know I'm going to get so much shit for this, but I don't think anybody listens to my videos this deep. But okay, this is going to be hard to say. Oh, God. But nobody ever really listens to this anyway. Okay, so look. When I was a kid, my grandfather made me do extremely inappropriate things and all that. And I could never, like, understand why I felt certain ways I felt growing up and getting older. And then I found out after my mom died that not only did he do it to me, he did it to my mom, all my aunts, several of my cousins. And I'm sitting here like, and then you hear like Sean Watson, all these women. Okay, when you're a victim of sexual molestation, violence, whatever it is, as a woman, and I don't care what anybody says, truth be told, when you're a girl, even if you're a little girl or a grown woman, like as a child, you see an adult as a authority figure or somebody you're supposed to look up to, right? So, as an everyday woman, you have this $1 billion football player asking you to do inappropriate things, and you're thinking, what if I don't? Does my boss know? Like, you have all these things going in your head. You feel threatened, you feel insecure, and nobody can decide whether it's consensual or not unless they've been in that position, whether they've been a victim of some kind of sexual violence or anything like that. Because you know what, it pisses me off. And if my mom was alive, I would ask her, why would you leave me in a house where he was alone? I would want to ask my aunt. But I brought it up, and that's why people quit talking to me. Because it's like a family thing nobody's supposed to talk about. But that family thing nobody was supposed to talk about led me into a world where I hated myself and always felt less than. And I never believed certain people or any kind of relationships were because they actually cared about me and loved me. I thought they had a motive or an agenda. And that's what happens to your mind as a child. As a child. So how the fuck is it that right now we have pedosexual, it's normal for men to like little kids or women to like, either way, it's wrong. You know, and the way people are coming about it is disgusting. It really is. Like, because I'm in Texas and I keep getting these alerts every day with these young girls missing. Okay. I keep seeing, you know, all this human trafficking, sex trafficking, all these things. And then I look at the way the media does, like what was it, Christine Blasey Ford and the whole Alyssa Milano Me Too movement. and how it only goes on one side, not with Kumo, not with anybody who's a Democrat or left leaning, not to mention Obama is gay and his wife is a dude. Like, I'm so sick of this. These kids at the border are being trafficked. And for everybody who turns a blind eye, just like my family, even my own mother, my grandmother, my aunt, they knew what happened to them. But because of whatever, nobody really, did anything. You just looked the other way. But if you think about it, if somebody would have stopped that sick son of a bitch from the first time, I never would have had that experience. So when I watch people, pull this whole sexual assault bullshit, I'm thinking you're a liar, dude. Because every time you have to talk about it, you literally relive it and you know it. It's like a memory you cannot scrub out of your mind. So when I'm watching during Trump, any woman who claimed anything, believe her. And I was like, well, we don't know. Deshaun Watson should be in jail. I'm sorry. People want to talk about privilege. That's the privilege. If you're a celebrity, millionaire, billionaire, politician, media, you're held to a different standard. But the rest of you, let them eat cake, right? But I know as a survivor, every time I see Biden go near a kid, I know what he does. Just seeing Hunter Biden, all of them, they're so disgusting. Bill Gates with Jeffrey Epstein, they're so disgusting. And it's like I get so pissed when people are like, well, you don't know if she's lying. She could have been a dancer or this or that. Maybe she's trying to get rich. Okay, let's think about it like this. Another black guy runs from the police. Okay? Okay. He had a warrant. Prior gun possession. The cop kills him. Regardless whether it was a taser or not, you ran, dude. You ran. Bottom line, if the cop tells you to stop and put your arms up, stop. Put your arms up. If they violate you in any point of way, you have the right to defend yourself. But we have systems for this stuff. But the systems we're listening to now actually glorify it. Like if you're a young black male and you have a huge record of flashing money and drugs and you got warrants out for gun possessions, your mama gonna get rich, bitch. Because that is exactly the reality we live in. It doesn't matter what race you are because we are not a race. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And I'm telling you, any mom who goes on to Facebook and does all this when her kid just died, yeah, right. I wouldn't even be able to remember how to get into my social media account. I'd be like, what mother who just lost a young child is going to be immediately on Facebook Live or Facebook posting? I wouldn't even be able to get up off the floor. I wouldn't even be able to comprehend what happened. I would probably be in a mental ward. Cannot people see through this? So you got looting and riots and Nike stores and all that kind of stuff. But hey, guess what? Nike's doing a whole new spin. They're asking people to donate their used sneakers so they can refurbish them and sell them. Okay, listen again. Nike, after all the looting and rioting in the past 2 years, now is going to reward people who come in. If you bring us a pair of your old Nikes, we'll give you reward points, and we're going to just refurbish them and sell them again. Genius marketing. Think about it. Get a bunch of dumb slobs who are like, I want my 5%, I want my 10% discount. What they don't understand is that's just the tax you're going to pay on a new pair of shoes or clothes. 10% sales tax. So they're really only discounting you the sales tax, but they're going to come up off your used shit. So basically, you're buying a $140 pair of shoes, right? Because you brought them your old pair, you paid $144. They're going to do you the good justice of selling them to you without tax. It's like, does anybody see how corrupt this shit is? For real. It blows my goddamn mind. That's why I can't, like, understand, like, my entire life, I've never felt like I've belonged here. I've always felt, like, different. Like, I just don't, like, in high school, I was drill team, did all that, and then I was like, no, dude, I'd rather take auto mechanics and welding because I couldn't stand to be around the fake. Like the fake cheerleaders and the drill team, and they're all fucking whores, but they call all the girls that aren't part of their clique whores. And I'm like, what? You're a liar. Because, you know? So, like, I've always been around guys and stuff like that. And, like, girls who are more like guys. Not like in a lesbian way. But, you know what I mean? Like, I don't click with clicky people. So my entire life, I'm sitting back watching this. And I'm like, Jesus. This is why I prefer German Shepherd dogs over humans. Because humans have turned into a culture that you'll do anything to fit in. If somebody says this, you'll do it. You won't research it. And people will be like, well, Google said and Google this. Dude, you're listening to a guy who created software, okay? And has done a vast amount of speeches talking about depopulation. And it's like you're literally watching every, what would they call it? Conspiracy theorist. We're literally, and I'm classified as that. And I'm sitting here like, no, you dicks. I've been studying this shit since I was a kid. This is real. So for somebody to call me a crazy conspiracy theorist and blah, 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 and I'm watching it play out, but yet my kids believe me, that's like, okay, sorry. I've done one good thing in the world. I've educated my kids not to be brainwashed. Because like Bill Gates and all them, they don't vaccinate their kids. They don't even let their kids have cell phones because it's indoctrinating everybody. I mean, think about it. They're like calling out this whole mom wine culture. It's so bad, blah 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 blah. Because some celebrity wrote a book about her experience and Jessica Simpson got sober, blah blah. I'm like, you know what, guys? Okay, it's all like pandemic equivalent. During the pandemic, I was even at my cousin's house, and it's like at 10 in the morning. They're making drinks. Every commercial is about how you can get alcohol delivered down. Government, states, mayors are allowing alcohol to be delivered to your house, even frozen drinks. You can just call the frozen drink truck and they'll bring it to your house. No problem. And oh, hey, you know what? Ketamine, LSD, crack cocaine, all this crazy shit, all these hardcore drugs, we're going to legalize them. But now we're going to say that if you drink, you could be going crazy. And yet you have Lady Gaga doing this whole, I have schizophrenia after she was caught at, what's her name? Starts with an M. She's like an artist or whatever, and she does like spirit cooking. Lady Gaga is seen with Kevin Costner and a male model that disappeared and a little girl that disappeared at a spirit cooking thing. Or oh my god, it's so bad. Like these people are so satanic. And she's like, I have schizophrenia. But she sang for Biden. It was like the Hunger Games. These people are mentally ill. You have Lady Gaga saying she has schizophrenia, and she sings for Biden's inauguration, and she's telling you who to vote for. You have Cardi B, who openly admitted that she would meet guys in the strip club, drug them, go home with them, and then call her friends, and they would all rob them. These are the people you're looking up to. You know, and as a person who's like, I used to be a bad person, but like, I just got my shit together. I think like God has a really sick sense of humor because I'm like, dude, I could have like thrived in this environment, but I'm like, no, I can't be a part of bad. I just can't do it. I can't. I see what's happening. I see what they're doing to our kids. I mean, thank God for like states like Kentucky to ban kids at certain ages from taking hormone blockers. People say that's threatening their society. No, it's not. I mean, you have to be 21 to buy alcohol. You have to be 21 to buy cigarettes. Okay? What the fuck makes you think a 12-year-old should be able to give them hormones? They should tell a judge whether they want to do it or not. Laws are in place for a reason, regardless of what TV says, the narrative, blah, 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 blah. You have to remember, they're all miserable fucks for a reason. They bitch and complain 90% of the time. Everything around us is negative, 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 negative. These people will never be happy. So we have to like raise as like a global unit, as like a bunch of people who know what's going on. We can't get angry or sad or depressed anymore because I honestly am passionate about this and I get tired of people who are like, why do you do this? Just enjoy life. I can't be a sheep. I'm sorry. I'll always stand up for the little guy regardless. Anybody who gets bullied and picked on, I'm going to stand up for him. I don't care what happens to me. Because in my soul and in my heart, like I can feel those people's pains. And everything right now that we're going through, people are just suffering. They're miserable. That's the real pandemic. And we're miserable and we're suffering. Why? Because of the media, because of politicians and celebrities. But yet we keep paying them to make us miserable. So big pharmaceutical companies can drug us and give us weed and CBD and psychotropics and all this. My God, doesn't anybody see it? Like, see through it? I'm just like, yeah, just like keto diet. Yeah, really good. You can eat 5 pounds of pure fat, but not a healthy grain. Just, that's not good for your heart. Captain fucking obvious, but people don't think like that. It's like they literally look at their phones and they're like, oh my God, this is what I gotta do. And I mean, honestly, like, I've been trying to like contour my face with powder and it's turning horribly. But I fall into certain categories, but I never lose my common sense. Because to me, I see it like this. We have free will. We are given intuition. We're given clairaudience, clairvoyance. We are given the power of our own minds to think freely out of the mass whatever agenda. But the only way you can truly tap into that self-thought is to pull yourself away. Even if you could just try to get like 5 minutes a day, twice a day. Like when you're in the shower, listen to classical music. Just turn your brain off to everything in the past, everything you worry about, that you fear, just turn it all off and think about positives, where you were, how far you've come, what you can do. Like, will always find the negative. You'll always find negative. You'll always find shitty. But oh my God. Sorry, guys. But my eyes are itching like crazy because of my allergies, and I'm going to get my allergy shots tomorrow, and the lights make it worse. And I got my daughter's guinea pigs in here, and there's gnats. I can see them flying around. This shit's pissing me off. Okay, but these are my new Burberrys anyway. They go with my new Burberry purse. See? Isn't it cute? So adorable. Even the lights are reflecting. I'll just look down. But anyways, you have to understand, like, we're just another species. Like, you have fish who see their world as the only world. Like, everything is connected through mathematics and all that. And we're energy and vibration. Whatever you think, whatever you tell yourself, whatever vibration you choose to stay in, if you watch the news and you think you're going to die of COVID every second, and you're thinking, oh my God, am I weak? Am I tired? Am I this? Am I that? You start to manifest it. And actually, there's people who have cancer, and they're able to rid their body of cancer, because a lot of the times the reason we get cancer is because we're holding on to a lot of negativity, resentment, anger, hostility. We're not free. We are actually prisoners to this society that we created on our own. And that's where like karma and reincarnation comes in, because you have to be proud enough and let your ego go to be able to see where you fucked up and understand, like, especially with parenting and like breaking the cycle of like bad habits in families. You have to understand that even though your parents is, regardless, everything is a learning experience. We are here, we signed up for this experience, there are lessons. And when you get that deep into it, it makes shit more comical. Like, I literally look around me and I think, look at the houses, look at the clothes, all that. Like, but I'm materialistic. Like, I got my Burberry shades, Burberry purse, Louis Vuittons. Like, but that's the thing. I've had all this material shit. I've had diamonds. I've had, I've dated celebrities. I've modeled. I've done all this. But at the end of the day, it's like people worship people based on what they have, material, like superficial. But those are the most miserable people in the world. I mean, there's nothing outside of you. These sunglasses are whatever. There's nothing outside of you that can make you happy. You have to be happy with who you are. If you don't love who you are, regardless of what people say, you're never going to be happy. You're always going to be trying to fill this void from a void that's not ever going to be filled unless you realize that you fill this void because of something that happened to you in the past that has basically kind of been like generational. Like, we end up getting in the same relationships as our parents do and stuff like that. And it's true, we do. Because we don't learn from it. Because we're told it's normal. I don't know where I was going with this. I think my amazing sunglasses got me distracted. Ready? It's Burberry, bitch. Just joking. All right, let me talk. But seriously, like, if y'all can see this one eye, it's bad. I gotta go get my allergy shots tomorrow. It's horrible. Like, I haven't been able to do a video or anything because, like, my eyes. Oh, I did one on my Instagram. I don't know if I said this earlier. But you know how, like, oh, my Instagram. Hold on, I'll tell you what it is now. Just chill, guys. Any haters? Well, you know what? Fuck you. I have not had any surgical shit done to my face. I've had Botox since I was 22 because I got in a car accident that almost fucking killed me. And I woke up and half my face was paralyzed. And it was like that for almost a year. So if I don't get Botox, it looks uneven. So all of y'all suck dick, dude. If you don't have anything positive to say on people's channel, your mother didn't hug you enough or kiss you enough. And you know what? I've fallen into that shitty mom category where I should have loved and hugged my kids enough. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I did. Maybe too much. As who we are as adults, we don't know. So any of you who are this miserable because of how you were raised or your parents, don't take it out on me. Seriously, don't. Don't do it. Just stop. You guys are fucking ridiculous at this point. You really are. And I just totally forgot what I was going to talk about. Fuck. I really did. It sucked. All right, guys. So, was not expecting this, but Kavanaugh was found not to have deadly force. I just don't even know what to think anymore. Because, like, shit just sucks, right? Anyways, forgot what I was going to say. And I've been talking for like an hour now. So maybe it's time to go. Anyways, I've had a rough day. Hard to focus. Trying to get better with it, guys. Seriously, trust me. I have teenagers here. It's like homeschool. It is really hard to make videos and concentrate. And feel normal. But anyways, love you guys. Oh, my Instagram. Yeah. So follow me on my Instagram. Hold on. Trying to like. All right. Well, here we'll just do it like that. Oh, it's Stephanie. STEPHANIE and ANN. Scanlon, SCANLIN. And on Twitter, I love you too. Because you know, like everybody talks shit. It's like whatever. Love you too, bitch. You just don't like the fact that I talk like the truth. And every media and all them and all these news outlets and celebrities, they should all be charged with sedition and treason. I have 100,000 kids, 100,000 kids at the border of my state who are being put in foster care in a state that is the national hub for human trafficking and sex trafficking. Where are the social advocates for this? Like, bitch, please. You're part of the fucking problem. Honestly, I should be able to run for office, and my campaign would be mind your business, bitch. Because I got to take care of shit. Because nobody else will. Somebody's got to be an adult, right? Love you guys. Have a good night.